when you talk about McGregor being a huge superstar, he's one of the biggest superstars in combat sports history. And that's with Tyson, Mayweather, Holyfield, Sugar Ray Leonard. He's at that level. I mean, when you look at it, he has the number one biggest pay-per-view of all time, right? Him and Mayweather. Then he's I don't know how many of the top 10. The guy's a global, massive superstar and one of the biggest ever.
Did you see, I've heard and read about you being interested in becoming a boxing promoter legit, and I'm sure you've been in this particular job for a long time, so I'm sure you crave new challenges all the time. I'm curious, though, if you're dealing with making McGregor Mayweather happen is the thing that has led you to say, hey, I could do this too. I want to be a boxing promoter.
No, I mean, originally when I was getting into the business, my partner Lorenzo and I were going to get into boxing. That's what we were going to do. And then this whole, we started taking jiu-jitsu, fell in love with the sport, started to meet some of the athletes, and then this whole UFC thing just happened. And, we fell in love with it and went with it. But we were always going to get involved in boxing.
And so when's that going to happen, or what's it going to look like when Dana White is doing boxing promoting?
Well, I have no grand illusions that I'm going to dive right in and fix the sport and change it. I think that it's going to take time, just like this did. I have like a 5 to 7 year plan for the boxing side, and I'm not diving in head first. I'm dipping my toe in, and I'm going to, see what I can do.
You just want to take Oscar De La Hoya's money, don't you? That's what it is. You hate De La Hoya.
Oh, he's such an idiot.
Who are you feuding with these days that's higher on the list than De La Hoya?
Nobody. I'm getting too old to fight with everybody these days, but De La Hoya, listen, De La Hoya is just a bad guy. He's a liar, and he's just an all-around scummy guy.
Has there been any sort of change in your thought that Jorge Masvidal is too big for Conor McGregor?
Yeah, I think that all these guys at 170 pounds are too big for Conor McGregor, and it pisses McGregor off when I say that. But this guy won a 145-pound world championship, right? Then when he moved up to 155 pounds, everybody was like, "Yeah, Eddie Alvarez is too big, too strong. He hits too hard, and he's a much better wrestler than Conor." Conor knocked him out easily, made it look easy in the first round. Now at 170 pounds, Conor has won one and lost one. Now look at the weight discrepancy between 145 and 170. Now Conor's telling me he's at 170 pounds on the nose right now. I'll bet he weighs in at 167. He's not even going to make 170.
UFC 246 this Saturday night. You could stream the fight live on ESPN Plus. You've worried about some of your guys before, whether it's Liddell or BJ Penn. You've developed a relationship with McGregor. His life outside the octagon has been a bit of a mess. Do you see a changed person in front of you? He seems a lot more humble when he's talking.
And a lot happier. He seems like a happy guy. This is that classic case that we've all seen of the kid that becomes too famous, too rich, so fast, and the wheels start to come off the bus. This week he's been on time for everything. He seems genuinely happy to be back here. He seems, mentally, physically, and emotionally ready for this fight. And I do care about the kid, and I like him a lot, so I'm happy to see it. And I'm excited to see what for both of these guys. I like Cowboy too, another great kid. So I'm happy for both these guys. It's a big fight.
What's changed for Conor? Why happier?
I don't know. I think he needed to go take some time off, get his head together, figure out a lot of his personal problems. Listen, we all know, and this is everybody in life. You don't have to be a big, famous, rich athlete or actor or whatever it is. When things aren't right at home in your personal life, things aren't right anywhere. So I think Conor had to fix some things in his personal life, and once you get that straight, we can work on everything else.
UFC 246 this Saturday night. You can stream the fight live on ESPN Plus. I don't know how this is supposed to work for you in terms of objectivity, but it's better for you if McGregor doesn't lose. So do you root for McGregor?
I seriously, I've been doing this for so long. whatever happens on Saturday happens. I've done all the bells and whistles. Those guys get in the octagon. They determine who wins or loses the fight, and then we roll with whatever happens.
What's the next thing on the horizon for you, the next big fight that you want to put together that you could get our audience excited with? Because Dana White is saying, look, I'm working on this one. Come on, give us something, Dana. It's been a while since you made any news around here and said something that got us some attention. Let's go. What do you got coming up that you're excited about?
The big no-brainer here is if Conor McGregor wins on Saturday night, he'll be next in line to face Khabib in the rematch, which will be the biggest pay-per-view ever in MMA history.
So how could you not have a rooting interest in McGregor in this fight?
Because you can't do that. You can't do it.
Well, you can't say it.
That type of stuff will drive you crazy. No matter what happens on Saturday, I will continue to put on fights for the rest of the year and years to come, and you can't get caught up in that stuff.
How about among the big boys and the heavyweights? What do you have there that you're pumped about?
Well, obviously, when Stipe Miocic gets cleared by the doctor, the big fight that everybody's waiting for is the trilogy with Daniel Cormier and Miocic. That is a big, fun fight. And also, John Jones has been talking about moving up to heavyweight. So imagine John Jones fighting a Francis Ngannou or a Stipe Miocic.
What would you like to happen with John Jones?
Yeah, I would love for that to happen. John Jones has a very tough fight coming up against Dominic Reyes in a couple of months here. And, if he gets past Reyes, I could see him moving up to heavyweight.
Hello, everyone. It's Ariel Helwani. I just came here to thank you for watching our ESPN YouTube channel. It's the best. You know what else is the best? The ESPN app. You can get highlights, analysis, all that stuff and more. And if you want premium content and live streaming sports, there's only one place for all of that. It's ESPN Plus.